Good morning. Today I'm here to talk to you about a very special bird. It's actually one of the smallest birds ever. It is the hummingbird, that's right. So the hummingbird is pretty special, you see. The hummingbird is the only bird that can fly backwards. I wonder how many facts you know about hummingbirds. Well, come along with me and we're going to talk about hummingbirds all day today. Now, before we get started officially, we need to grab our notebooks, our observation logs, split it into 3 equal parts, give it the title Hummingbirds, and then we're actually going to set it up because during the video you're going to pause at certain points and do an activity on your paper. So we're going to make little pause signs on each section to remind ourselves this is what we pause. So in the first section, I want you to go ahead and make a little graph, a little chart, and it's going to have 3 sections. Right, 3 sections long, and then a small section at the end. Write the word hummingbird in the first section and write me in the second section, or your name. At the bottom you're going to write a little square where you're going to be able to draw a picture, and in the middle we'll leave it blank. Now, here in California, hummingbirds are actually here year-round a lot of the times, but in many places a hummingbird can't stay because it just gets too cold. And what's interesting about hummingbirds is they're one of the only birds that migrates by itself. Remember, to migrate means to move from a place of colder weather to warmer weather in order to survive. And many birds do this in huge flocks together, but a hummingbird does it alone and flies nearly 500 miles by itself. If you do find it together with a bunch of other hummingbirds, it's called a bouquet or glitter. Pretty cute, right? And did you know that hummingbirds got their name from the sound that their wings make when they flap so quickly that they actually make a humming sound? I would have never guessed, but a hummingbird can't smell very well at all. It relies completely on its sight to see where to get its nectar. And that's why many hummingbirds are attracted to bright, colourful flowers. And did you know that a hummingbird also weighs no more than a nickel? Find a nickel in your house and feel how heavy that is. It's pretty amazing how little these guys are. They actually don't walk at all. They have feet, but they don't use them for walking. They actually only use them to do what is called a perch. Perch means they simply sit on something, on a branch, on a flower, on a petal, whatever it is. But they don't actually walk at all. They can do like a tiny little side step, but for the most part, they flutter, 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 and then they stop and they perch, and that is how they rest. And did you know that the heart of a hummingbird is always going so quickly, even when it's just resting on a perch? Which explains why it needs to eat so much. Hummingbird actually eats over half its weight every single day. Oh my, if I ate that much food, I can't even imagine the size I would be right now. Some people think that their long beaks are like little straws that they just kind of put in and they suck everything out. But hummingbirds actually have these tongues, these very long tongues, and they have like a little W shape. Not obviously this big, but just like little ridges like a W. And what they do is they stick their tongue in and they pull the nectar into their mouth. And they actually can move their tongue in and out 13 times in just 1 second. I want you to pause the video right here when you see this pause sign, and I want you to try this and then fill out on your paper how many you made. I tried it and I only got 3. I'm pretty slow tongue mover. So you try it, and then I left a 3rd spot so you could see if someone in your house is willing to try it. My husband was much better than I was, and you'll see how he did. But you go ahead and do that. Test it out, write down your data points, and then come back to me. Here's what mine looks like. The hummingbird can do it 13 times per second. I was able to do 3 times per second, and my husband Robert was able to do it 6 times per second. Alright, see what you can do. Pause the video and fill it out. Alright, now, I was very lucky to find some beautiful footage of some real hummingbirds that come and visit my yard every single day. And I did my best to get a close-up view of these hummingbirds. and I want you to help me figure out what kind of hummingbird is this. So I'm going to put up a description of a couple different kinds of hummingbirds that could live here in the West Coast. And what I want you to do is I want you to write down on your paper what kind you think the hummingbird is in mine and why. I hope that we can figure it out together, because I'll be honest, I'm just observing as much as you and I'm not sure what kind of bird it is. Alright, watch this live footage of a hummingbird at my house. Right, that first clip was at full speed, so I've slowed it down a lot, down to 10%, and you can see its body's movement. Watch closely as it moves from spot to spot. It's quite adorable, and look at its little tail balancing itself. And this also should give you a closer look so you can make a better decision when deciding what type of hummingbird it is. Alright, now that you've finished watching the video, if you need to go back, that's fine, but go ahead and keep it on this picture. Read about the 3 different types of birds, hummingbirds found in California, and make a decision which one you think it is and write it on your paper. And then I'll see you back. Pause the video here. Now, last thing is, in your last space on your paper, based on all the information that we have learned about hummingbirds today, I want you to draw a flower that you think a hummingbird might be attracted to. Alright? Now my drawing is very basic. I left it pretty open-ended because I wanted to see what flowers you guys came up with. Can't wait to see them. When you're done, head over to your portfolio, take a picture of your beautiful page that you just did, and I'd like to see what you thought, especially what kind of bird you think is in my yard. I actually see one right now, I don't show. If I can get it before it goes away. Thanks for watching the video. I can't wait to see all your work. Bye!